My name is David Caruso. I'm a Milwaukee native on a mission to show you the very best of what our city has to offer. To help me on this journey, I've enlisted help from some of Milwaukee's most dynamic people. Today, I'll be joined by one of Milwaukee's best-known mural painters and the curator at our most prominent arts hotel. It's time to explore the good things brewing in Milwaukee. If you've been to Milwaukee, it's almost certain that you've seen art created by Mauricio Ramirez. From 5,000 square foot murals to utility boxes along Wisconsin Avenue, Mauricio's signature geometric style makes for some of the most recognizable pieces of public art in Milwaukee. Mauricio's work can be found all over the country and focuses on themes of community and culture. In 2022, Mauricio partnered with Milwaukee Downtown to create a photorealistic 54-foot-tall portrait of Bucks legend Giannis Antetokounmpo at 600 East Wisconsin Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I met up with Mauricio at his Giannis mural to learn more about how he got into creating public art on such a massive scale.
I guess it all stems back to painting graffiti-style pieces. You see graffiti on the street, you don't really think anything of it, but in reality, those are like super in large letters and it takes a lot. And I think by being introduced through art, through that type of media, kind of baptized me into just automatically doing large-scale work. So, I started doing it when I was like 16, 17 years old. But then I started to have a little bit more control of the can and having a little bit more control of the artistic process. And, over time, the work kind of transformed from graffiti stylized art to, artwork that holds a little bit more weight and is just a little bit more responsible. I had older cousins that were into graffiti art at the time, and they were drawing on napkins, just doing these really cool elaborate pieces. And, I just kind of blew my mind away to see someone being able to do that with just a pen. And at that point, I just really wanted to emulate it. I took it up and I soaked it in and really studied it until the next family party to show them what I've done. So I'd say that type of interaction and, just seeing it on the street for sure.
All kinds of community-inspired art and your family. Is it something you also went to school for?
I went to school for English and teacher education, and I was on a soccer scholarship, and I was really interested in just playing soccer and painting. So in my off time, I would sneak into the studio and try to create my pieces. And it kind of boggled the art teachers. Finally, I ended up taking one of their more advanced classes, and it kind of really just springboarded me into, the real world of art.
Now let's talk about this Giannis mural. It is absolutely unbelievable. When I first saw you working on this mural, I thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna be an instant hit. Standing here, it is so impressive. And when you stepped off of the scissor lift and scaffolding and took a look at the finished piece, what did you feel?
To be able to execute it and to make it look exactly how it needed to look as a rendering, it's just the greatest feeling to realize that, someone could create photorealistic on the side of a building. It's awesome.
Meet me in Milwaukee, the gathering place, where people of all walks of life come together to flourish. Together, where there's a part for everyone. Whether you're a native species or wondering where to raise your seeds, a new place to plant your roots, a new beginning. Gather for a conference, gather for a meeting, but always gather for the eating. We gather all the flowers in the dome of this city, where some of us go for adventure, and some of us go to remember where our roots are nourished by our waters in the city we've chosen to grow. Captivated by a community where the only thing missing is you. Together in the gathering place in Milwaukee, we'll thrive.
What makes Milwaukee special can't be seen on a map. It's about the feeling you get, the warmth and authenticity that's unique to Milwaukee. Anyone can come here and feel at home. We're building more so more people can experience all Milwaukee has to offer.
Our next stop was Milwaukee Brat House, Mauricio's favorite spot to grab a bite when he's working on a project. The Brat House opened its doors in 2008 and offers creative and delicious takes on Milwaukee's iconic sausages. It's found just east of the Deer District on MLK Jr. Drive and is a local favorite for being open until bar close. What makes the Brat House your favorite spot?
When you work long hours on a mural, we work 8 in the morning till 10 at night. We're pretty drained at night and we need some food in our system, as well as, some kickback, beers or whatever. We honestly like coming here because, the music's good, the service is good, everyone's local here, and we need a place to eat. So this has been our go-to spot.
And it's pretty much always packed, right?
Lunch hours, super packed. Dinners, super packed. In the late evenings, you get a lot of the nightlife. We're right in the major entertainment district, so we have the Mecca, we have the Punch Bowl Social, and these are all great spots to kind of bounce around and go meet friends at different locations.
Oh, wow.
Holy cow.
Wow. That is jumbo indeed. You know what's amazing about this pretzel? Is that it's just coated in butter.
Did you think it was going to come out this big?
No. I don't think I've ever seen one this big. To the brat.
The brat.
After lunch, we headed over to the Latino Arts Gallery at the United Community Center in Milwaukee's Southside neighborhood, the vibrant home of many of Milwaukee's Hispanic residents. Latino Arts provides low-cost and accessible exhibitions, performances, and education to the community with a focus on Hispanic cultural heritage.
This neighborhood means a lot to me. To show artwork in this specific space is the biggest honor. I spent a lot of my summers here, I spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house, and being able to have the doors open for my family members to come in, to see the work here in the neighborhood that represents the neighborhood, it's the biggest honor.
Yeah. Is there a particular theme or themes that you get super excited about and try to focus on?
A lot of my public artwork is driven by community engagement and inviting the community to come out and actually help paint the mural, but certain subjects such as like historical figures, because when we think of historical figures, we think of black and white out the textbook, but if I'm able to introduce some color, some cool shapes, I think it could appeal to a younger audience.
Do you have a mural in the city of Milwaukee that you've painted that for any reason you're most proud of?
Oh, that's like the hardest question because that's not fair, but...
Which is your favorite child? That's the question, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it's tough because every single mural presents its own obstacles, presents its own unique experiences, and it just has this like special place in my heart. The most recognizable mural that I've created is the Giannis mural, as well as the Selena mural, so yeah, I'd say those are pretty recognizable.
So were you a Selena fan?
Yeah, of course I'm a fan of Selena. It's like what we kind of grew up on. I would walk into my sister's room, it'd be jamming, my mom would be playing it. And not only that, I spent a lot of time at Mexican Fiesta growing up. Every summer, I've been going there since I was like a baby, literally. And they'd always have like Selena cover bands and stuff. And I thought that was really cool, just kind of hearing that type of music, having that be the, audio background of my childhood.
So one of probably your favorite things here in the gallery is a wall that displays artwork inspired by you by 6th grade students.
It's the biggest honor to be included into, programming like this for Latino Arts Inc. and the UCC and Bruce Guadalupe School. It's amazing. As a kid growing up, I had people that I looked up to, and it was a huge foreground for me to continue and to kind of follow what they were doing in their footsteps. So it's crazy to see me in the position today of influencing and being a little guide for artists to kind of explore different paint styles. And the way that they executed the low poly tool and the triangular shapes is very impressive. It's cool. I wish I had cool art teachers that introduced those types of works to me at 6th grade. When I was in 6th grade, we were just gluing macaroni on like pieces of paper. It was like, but
paper mache.
Yeah, the fact that the teachers are becoming more and more aware of the type of artwork, it's incredible. It's awesome to see them pull artists that are really doing work in the community into the gallery and just really make it this hyper-local type of relationship.
For our last stop, Mauricio and I visited his cousin David, who owns Mr. V's Barberia in West Allis, a suburb of Milwaukee just 10 minutes from downtown. It's the home of Liberace, the Wisconsin State Fair, and is just south of Milwaukee County Zoo. While Mauricio got his haircut, we talked about barber culture and how places like the barbershop help build a sense of community. introduce us to Mr. V today?
For sure. Mr. V's my older cousin that really introduced me to the graffiti stylized art that I talked about earlier. A huge mentor of mine, and I think it's kind of important to talk about the process and the important people that kind of, chipped into the whole, creative process.
Mr. V, did you know that you were part of the inspiration for this really talented artist?
I did know, but it's very mutual, and we always just did things together, and it goes to the next generation about our family pouring out the crayons and pouring out the markers, and we just have at it, and I think that's so important to keep kids occupied, and it had such a later impact for us where we just had that as fun.
So I know that you chose Mr. V's because he's your cousin, but I know that the barbershop is quite a culture. How do people choose their favorite barbershop, do you think? What goes into that? It's a very personal decision, right?
Sure, I think it goes to a lot of trust and just kind of relationship with the barber. But more importantly, I think what stands out the most is the atmosphere, the type of culture. When you walk in, what are people talking about? Are people talking about pop culture events? Are they talking about street culture? Are they talking about things that are happening in the world? And I think that correlates, directly to the type of artwork that artists make.
That's so cool. And how did you get into being a barber?
There's some serious haircutting in our family. There's a lot of artistry going on. It turned into a career shortly after high school, and now we're 23 years later still having fun.
So this is your art.
Absolutely. Sculpting, fading, contrast, clippers, hair, all that.
You're gonna get a fade, Mauricio.
Heck yeah.
Mauricio, I'm just curious, what else is special to you in this neighborhood?
The State Fair Park is over here, and that's something that's super huge growing up and spending a lot of fond memories growing up. The zoo's over here too, and that's another place to, bring family members to, enjoy a beautiful day.
And does your son love the county zoo?
Yeah, for sure. He definitely loves the animals, so it's really cool to see these things in real life.
Ready for your shampoo, Mauricio? Looking good, Mauricio.
The people of Milwaukee are something. Making something new, something special, making change. Yes, this is Milwaukee, where alleyways turn to art galleries and MVPs are more valuable off the court. A place powered by the people, making their city a bona fide worldwide phenomenon. So come and feel a little bit of that people power for yourself.
After Mr. V finished and Mauricio was looking fresh, it was time to part ways and meet up with Samantha Timm. Samantha is the curator at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel, a unique hotel across the street from Milwaukee City Hall and in the heart of the city's theater district. A Milwaukee native, Samantha built her career working in acclaimed galleries and museums around the world, including the Guggenheim Museum in New York. Along with curating the hotel's exhibitions, Sam provides tours and collaborates with local artists to create one-of-a-kind gallery, culinary, and performance experiences in St. Kate. Named after St. Catherine, the patron saint of artists, St. Kate offers 219 guest rooms, 5 restaurants, a black box theater, and numerous exhibition spaces. In 2022, the hotel introduced an artist-in-residence studio that allows guests and visitors to meet and even collaborate with local artists.
Before St. Kate, I had been curating in art museums and art galleries in pre-20th century art. So I've been in the arts industry a while, come to know it and love it, and I just am so happy that this is where I landed.
What ultimately made you decide to come back to Milwaukee and settle here for your career?
I just knew it was home. I knew it was home, and I knew the art scene was vibrant. I had been working on the East Coast, and I wanted to try something different, and I'm a very collaborative person, and I felt like working contemporary art would allow me to do that.
And what's really interesting is being somebody who's grown up here in the city, I was just very, very intrigued when St. Kate came to be. Like, what makes it an arts hotel?
Everything about St. Kate makes it an arts hotel. We live and breathe it here. From when you walk in, to checking in, to walking through the collections, taking an art tour with me, dining in Aria, going into your room. St. Kate celebrates creative expression in all of its beautiful, diverse forms. Art is about empathy, it's about the human experience, and it's about things that are relevant to us every day, because it's about us.
Yeah, and I think one of the neat things is that even visitors from out of town, although they know that they've made a reservation at the Arts Hotel, when they get here, they're surprised and delighted. Is it fun for you to kind of see their reaction?
Absolutely. That's one of the best parts of working here. Being able to see them in those moments of discovery, and just, it's exactly what you said. It's those little moments of surprise and delight where, you know, they'll sit down on those chairs and they'll see some sculptures that look kind of like real people over there. Or go into one of the galleries, walk up the stairs and realize that behind them, they're just suddenly immersed and surrounded by pieces they didn't realize were there, and it's an art playground.
Right as guests walk into the lobby of St. Kate, they are greeted by the fabulous Big Piney. Tell us a little bit about her.
It greets guests when they walk in and welcomes them in and pulls them to explore the rest of the collection. I think a lot of people assume it's made of wood. The artist actually cast bronze to create this piece. So she starts with a wood frame, cast in bronze. There's no wood left over in the finished product. I'm so excited to be in one of our gallery spaces just so we can understand how sensory and immersive it is. And it's really about me working with our featured artists in this very interesting, mutually beneficial partnership and collaboration to help them elevate their voice and kind of push their creative potential in different directions that maybe they haven't tried before, and create something totally new and novel for people.
After exploring St. Kate with Sam, we headed toward the lakefront to check out Sculpture Milwaukee, a public art installation that spans across downtown Milwaukee and the historic 3rd Ward. The city of Milwaukee stands out as a leader in accessible public art, and Sculpture Milwaukee is one of the best ways we show it off.
Sculpture Milwaukee was started in 2017 as a public sculpture exhibition that was meant to be an exciting art experience for the city, and it's here for everyone to enjoy. It's one of my favorite things to do in Milwaukee. We are standing right in front of one of my favorite pieces. Maybe I shouldn't pick favorites, but this piece the scale is amazing. It's by an artist named Roxy Payne. He's folded something like 304 pieces of steel to create this dendroid tree.
We are at O'Donnell Park, and Sam, there is literally art around every corner.
There's art everywhere in Milwaukee, and it is so amazing to be able to walk down some stairs amidst an art installation. This one is by Jeffrey Hendricks. It's called Sky Stair, and you kind of become part of the sky.
It's so interesting that Sculpture Milwaukee really has kind of put something beautiful in every corner of our city. I love this, so thank you for joining us on this journey in the clouds.
Yes, thank you.
After walking through the clouds, we headed over to Peter Shortino Bakery on Brady Street. Family owned since 1947, Shortino specializes in traditional Italian breads and cookies made from scratch daily. Their legendary bread has been voted the best in Milwaukee, but Sam's also a huge fan of their cookies. We headed over to grab an afternoon treat and talk about our shared love for this bakery. Sam, I'm so excited because one of your favorite places happens to be one of mine. How did you happen to come across it?
I had moved back to Milwaukee, and I was just exploring the city again, and stopped in here, grabbed a snack, and that was it.
Hooked.
Yes.
Definitely hooked.
So typically I'll do my Shortino's run, have a cookie, and then grab a bag of cookies and bring it to an artist studio that I'm visiting. It's great to snack on Shortino's cookies over conversations about art, so.
That's great. I'm sure they love when you stop by with Shortino's cookies. Sam, what is your go-to here?
You know what? It changes, because I know your selection changes. It's very luxurious.
Anything else I can get for you over here? More gluten-free stuff?
Sure.
I got these chocolate dipped
Yes,
already.
how about 5 of those too?
Oh, I have to have a few of those. I was going to order those too. And I want to know, do you have a favorite here?
Well, you already got my favorite with the chocolate dipped amaretti, but I also go right down to the bottom 3 down there. It's the limoncello burst and the tutu. They're both very delicious. It's almost like a cake pop consistency.
You get a lot of visitors coming, right? A lot of out-of-town people that know this is the go-to Italian bakery.
Constantly. We got people from all over the country and other countries too. They say they've tried them once at a wedding and then they had to take a road trip all the way down here just to get them.
Sam?
We will. Thank you very much. Cheers.
So good. I'm telling you, this cookie will change your life.
Really? Okay.
They're so good. This is the perfect, like, crispy on the outside. See?
What? It's
Life-changing.
I love
Soft
it.
on the inside,
Oh my God.
chocolate on half.
This is all I'm going to be eating for the next week.
I'm with you on this one. It's so good. Sam wanted to show me a favorite Milwaukee mural, but couldn't pick just one, so we decided to make 2 stops. First, we headed south into the Bayview neighborhood, known for its thriving art scene and strong sense of community. We ended up next door to my friend Adam Pollock. Adam is a Bayview native and recently represented Milwaukee when he competed on season 19 of Hell's Kitchen. Adam is one of Milwaukee's most in-demand chefs and is the creator of Egg and Flour Pasta Bar. We could not come to Bayview without inviting a special guest, Chef Adam Pollock, celebrity Milwaukee chef. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, thanks for having me.
And I want to start, Sam, by talking about this amazing mural behind us. It's part of a very special project called Street Canvas, and this particular mural is called Nearer the Moon. Tell us a little bit about this.
This is by an artist named Jenny Jo Wenland. This project was launched in 2017 by Stacey Williams-Ong, and it's a really special project for Milwaukee, for Bayview. They commissioned 5 female street artists to just decorate the neighborhood with their work. It's often a really performative thing to watch. It's very cool, and I know, her work in particular is about women artists and women communities of women and kind of uplifting each other.
Adam, you love Bayview. You grew up here. You have your restaurant here.
Yes, born and raised in Bayview. My mom still lives in the original house that me and my brother grew up in. And now we have a restaurant here, and I get to see the mural. I get to see all the artwork. I think we're in the best part of Bayview right here.
Now, pasta and food is your art. How fun is it for you to kind of use your passion and art in the form of food?
Oh, it's great. It's a dream. Every time I wake up, I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but I can wake up and do what I want every single day, and that's be around food and teaching my employees and training and doing anything that I can that has to do with helping the community, showing what I can do with food, new events. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
For our second mural stop, Sam took me over to the east side to see Black Cat Alley, one of the best-known public art destinations in Milwaukee. Black Cat Alley is free to visit and displays 21 murals by 24 different artists from all over the world. There, Sam introduced me to David Najib Kassir, a Milwaukee artist whose mural Fraction Mother, Subtract Children is found in Black Cat Alley. Tell us a little bit about what is on the wall there.
This piece has to do with the figures who were traveling to a refugee camp, and just the idea of like the strain of what a parent goes through and trying to keep safekeeping for their family and child.
I read that it is done with traditional Syrian colors and patterns.
For the last several years, my work has consisted of Syria and where my family's from, and at the time too, there was a huge sort of talk against refugees migrating to this country and other countries, and I was trying to change the narrative with my work.
I noticed in the lower corner for Lucy, my mom, your favorite immigrant.
Yeah, my mom is my favorite immigrant. I really wanted to use this piece to thank my mom for her journey and what she's been able to give to me and my sisters, and all her sacrifices.
And when you see your artwork here in Black Cat Alley in the city of Milwaukee, what does that mean to you?
Particularly, it means representation.
It not only challenges perspectives, it brings Milwaukee visitors and locals a large dose of art and culture on a global scale. And it's an amazing thing to experience, and it's unexpected, and it's immersive.
I couldn't miss an opportunity to discuss Milwaukee's thriving art scene with Mauricio and Samantha. So to end the day, we all met up on North Avenue in Wauwatosa and discussed the role that art plays in our community. Mauricio and Sam, it is so good to now all be together. We've had so much fun talking about art, seeing your art, getting our haircuts, eating together. It's just awesome. And I'm so glad that now you have the chance to meet each other. Why is art so important to building culture in a community?
It's about bringing people together over something they have in common, like a piece of art in their neighborhood or a piece of art that they all really like, or even if they don't like it, they want to talk about it. And you learn things about each other, about yourself when you're going through that process, and it's really important for a community.
And it's such an exciting time to be here in Milwaukee. I'm wondering, are you feeling like the city is kind of going through a renaissance of art?
I think the city's embraced it. You could use me for an example. I, came in, started doing public art projects in 2017 here in Milwaukee, and ever since then, I just kind of developed this relationship with certain community leaders, and have given me other projects to work on, and I can see a lot of artists getting more and more projects, and I think that's the ultimate sign of how they're starting to respect artists.
It's exciting, it's inspiring to be a part of. There's art literally everywhere, and like Mauricio said, your work and the work of other artists that may not even be muralists, that's popping up around the city. It's indicative of this, it's like this spring of art, and it's fantastic.
I think there's a renaissance happening across the entire city. You look at the density of murals, throughout the Milwaukee land area, and everybody's like very equally ratioed. There's the same amount on the north side as the south side here in Wauwatosa, and I just think it's a beautiful thing.
It has been such a pleasure to spend time with both of you exploring the arts culture in our city. And there is no doubt that both of you are a part of the Good Things Brewing right here. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, David.
I couldn't agree more that Milwaukee is going through an artistic renaissance with sculptures, murals, galleries, and even an arts hotel, all of which are the caliber found in any major city in the world. There's an art experience for everyone in Milwaukee.